I just want to circle back to this Rippasend, Yellowflash, Golden Shower Patriot comic book and what myself and many others see as a confusing lack of interest from Yellowflash's fans in buying and supporting his comic book. It is a little bit baffling. Let's put all hyperbole aside for a second. You guys know I love to just go a little over the top, but let's put all that to the side for a second. This is a guy who's been advertising this comic for years. He has almost 500,000 YouTube subscribers. He gets decent views on his videos. He gets decent views on his live stream. He has almost 500,000 YouTube subscribers, 500,000 YouTube subscribers. He's got over 100,000 followers on Twitter. He's got other YouTube channels. I think he's got a second channel with like 50,000 subs on it that he uploads videos to occasionally. On paper, it doesn't make any sense that there is such a lack of interest in this product. No matter how much Eric July makes it seem like, well, he's not a comic book guy. But it doesn't really matter, right? Because this is just merch for your fans. This is something you're making for your fans to purchase to help support you as a content creator. That's essentially what we're looking at here. And so I was thinking today, and I'm like, why is there a lack of interest? And then it sort of hit me. I don't think that Yellowflash or Eric July or a lot of these guys realize that the fans of their channels aren't looking for replacements. They aren't looking for quality. They aren't looking for something better than what exists. They just want to be mad at stuff. That's it. They just want to be mad at things. They want to scream and holler and watch these guys say the thing on camera so they can super chat them and get their comments read and stuff like that. That is what they want to do. When Eric was doing Monetize My Haters, he was about 25,000 subscribers richer then than he is now. Let's take a look at this channel now. Wow, he's lost another 1,000 subscribers since the last time I looked was like a week ago. So he is down almost 25,000 subscribers in less than 2 years. Do you guys understand how weird it is that people are literally going to his channel and just unsubscribing from him? That's not normal. Like, that doesn't happen at this level. Like, when I talk about some of these other guys' channels, like we looked at, Geeks and Gamers, Nerdrotic, Critical Drinker. I've looked at some other channels. They're not gaining subscribers the way they were previously, but most of them are not in the red. They're not in the negative. And what I think has happened is these guys, both Eric July and Yellowflash now, looking at the sales of this comic book, have not put two and two together. That their viewers don't want solutions. They want the never-ending outrage that these guys can provide for them. Now, the other thing is that Yellowflash, as Eric says, isn't a comic book guy on YouTube. It's not what he's known for. So what is the purpose of Yellowflash making a comic book if it's like a one and done thing and he has no intention to ever do anything else? I've heard the videos where he's talked about it. If he has no intention of doing anything else, why humiliate yourself on purpose if you didn't think that this comic book wasn't going to perform well? Now, I know Yellowflash has talked about the fact that his artist is going to make tons of money or whatever. Okay, fine. However, I do believe that you probably sold him on the deal that you made with him on the sales for this based on the fact that you have a big following on social media, which contradicts what Eric July said in the last video when we talked about this, where he said that social media outreach has nothing to do in terms of sales of your product, which is a dumb fucking thing to say. It's just a dumb thing. So essentially what you could have done, Yellowflash, is you could have taken your Golden Shower Patriot, had a few artists draw this character for you in a few different poses, slapped it on some t-shirts, had it made somewhere where you don't even have to deal with making the t-shirts. You never had to deal with Rippasend. You wouldn't have to split the money up with anybody. You could have paid them flat out for the design and just made merch with this guy on it and stuck a YF on him for Yellowflash and sold him as your mascot and never had to invest many, many, many years in making a comic book that is struggling to reach your pre-order goal. And you can pretend, just like Eric July, that this goal is like, oh, it's okay if we meet it by the time we get to the end of our campaign here. But you set a relatively low goal. Like, I'll be honest, $100,000 is a low goal for somebody at Yellowflash's size. And there's a reason why Eric and Yellowflash never really talked about how much they thought it was going to make before it came out, because I think they expected it to blow past 100,000. Just my opinion, really, about this. Because the goal is, that's a low number for Eric July. And other thing is that Eric July's Rippaverse comic books started out very strong, because a lot of his fans were like, we really want to, it's all spite. We want to get back at Marvel. We want to get back at DC. We want to get back at Hollywood and show them that you can really do more than they can. And then slowly over time, people have realized that it's not really worth it to buy every single thing that comes out from Eric July. Because the truth is, you want your fans to buy as much of your merch as possible, especially when you're investing so much into it. So this idea that, you don't care, I don't believe that either. I don't think that's true. I know I would care. I think most people would care if their comics weren't selling at the rates they were before, even if you're releasing them quicker and they're smaller books. None of that matters, really. We're not talking about a few $100 difference. We're talking about millions of dollars in difference in sales. Optically, it doesn't look good. And essentially, when you're not running your campaigns and your collections, whatever, the same way, optics are all you really have, man. They're all you have when it comes to this. And this isn't for the lack of advertising, because Yellowflash, let's take a look here. If you look at his Twitter, which I am blocked by Yellowflash. I've never said anything to him on Twitter. He's got me blocked. He's had this pin since the 25th of April. He's got Edwin Boyette promoting him, Cam here promoting him, Eric July still promoting it. Look at this. He just, so many things trying to promote and sell this comic book, and it's not doing a lot. Even if you take into account that you guys haven't, you still got plenty of time to reach the goal, it's not moving. Like this is a snail's pace of movement for someone out there, just like, again, with Critical Drinker and Eric July and any of these guys who have talked like they're the experts when it comes to entertainment. The fact that it's not moving at a massive rate is a big red flag. It's a big red flag. Because your entire platform is predicated on the fact that you can see the forest for the trees. You can tell Disney how their billion-dollar company should be ran. You can tell Marvel how their comics should be done. You can tell video game developers how their games can be made, how their stories can be better. But clearly your fans don't believe that, because they're not investing in you. They're not investing in this probably one-and-done comic book. They don't even see it as a collector's item. You've got multiple covers. I just don't think you guys understand what your viewers are coming to your channels for. They don't want Yellowflash to be the best writer because they don't give a fuck. They don't want solutions. They revel in the problems. They revel in the outrage. This is the community that you guys have created. This is from 7 months ago. Yellowflash promoted this project on Friday Night Tights, probably the biggest fandom stream on YouTube. I'd have to take a look, but I think it is the biggest one.
Rumble too, so go follow me on Rumble. Yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. Yellowflash, thanks for coming on. Anything you want to tell the fine people about?
Yeah, tomorrow, Flashcast on my channel. And also, keep a lookout for my comic book coming out. Probably, I think, next month is when we should... We're going to go after Drunk 3PO. Yep.
Next month. By the way, this was 7 months ago. This was probably over 7 months, because this is a clip from Katie did. So this is probably a little bit more than 7 months ago.
And Rippasend. So Drunk 3PO is going to drop his comic. And then maybe like a week or so, 2 weeks or so after that, probably I'll put mine out. So it's coming. The Mighty Golden Patriot.
Hell yes. Rippasend.
Wow, he didn't get much on F&T back then. I'm sure he's promoted with them since then, I would assume. But look at that. He's on F&T, the largest fandom podcast on YouTube, full of people ready to donate money in spite of Marvel, DC, Star Wars, all of that. He couldn't even get those guys to come over and spend money on his comic book. And he's been doing the rounds. He's been doing the rounds. You guys are selling outrage to your viewers. You're selling spite. You're selling hate. They don't want solutions to problems. You offering them a Temu solution isn't going to cut it. And matter of fact, it just exposes that you're not as good as you say you are when it comes to understanding all of these things. You should stay away from stuff like this. It's going to be interesting to see how long it takes him to reach $100,000. I haven't ran the math on it, but at the rate that he's selling right now, it's going to come down to the wire.